Let's get this stuff set up. No map or fancy stuff again. We're in Canada and that shit don't work. But I also can't put my stream starting soon thing up either, so you're gonna have to wait for me to get my mic ready and set up YouTube and everything else. But hi everyone. Give me a second to get set up because I can't put up my stream coming soon thing that I normally put up while I do all this nonsense. Can you hear me okay? Today is January 2nd, yeah, okay. Good. Okay, just give me a moment to get set up and wait for some people to come and get this share bike undocked, warm up my hands again because I've had them out setting up all this shit. Remind me again why I decided to live stream from a bicycle, especially in the middle of fucking winter. Oh well, I've got some stuff I want to film today. Dave Edwards told me some new bike lanes that I didn't know about. And I want to go check them out. So I'm going to take you guys along with me if this all works. Canadian LTE permitting. What do I think of Swiss bike infrastructure? I don't know much about Swiss bike infrastructure. I've been to Switzerland a lot, but I would always go by train and tram because I actually prefer trains and trams to bicycles, you know. It's not just bikes. So I would gladly take the tram instead of cycling anytime. Okay. Remembered my helmet this time. So we're going to see, I decided my last stream wasn't quite dangerous enough. It's time to go try this shitty infrastructure with ice and snow that hasn't been properly plowed. Oh yeah, I actually need to undock my share bike. So with that, you load an app and scan the QR code on the bike. So I'll just do that now. And there's the sound we want. And the bike is out. Okay, so the plan is that I'm here over at basically John Street between Richmond and Adelaide. I'm gonna head, let's get this recording. I'm gonna head east, down Adelaide to Sherbourne. I'm gonna go check out the new bike lanes that they've put in the Esplanade. Then we're going to go through the Distillery District, Canary District, and along Shooter Street, which has been repaved. That is a street that was my nemesis when I lived here, because it was full of potholes, but it has been repaved, and we're going to go check it out. And this stream will end either when I freeze my balls off, because I'm not used to this weather, because I've lived in Amsterdam for too long, or when I fall and hurt myself. And I hope it stops when I freeze. This street has not been plowed, of course, because, you know, plowing is for Finnish people. Let's see how slippery it is. I'm going to do a little brake check here. Oh, yeah, that fishtails a bit. All right. Good to know. What's the temp? It's warming here. It's almost Minus 20. I have no idea what the temperature is. That's why I normally have a temperature thing, but I can't do that when I'm streaming in Toronto. I think it's like minus 4 or something. Could somebody look it up? What's the weather in Toronto right now? My guess is about minus 4. It could be a little warmer than that. Okay, let's get this show on the road. So this is John Street, in between Richmond and Adelaide. I'm gonna go south to Adelaide Street, and then we're gonna head east. And we're gonna see if any of these bike lanes have been plowed. I saw some of them were actually, so maybe it's not so bad. Minus 6, minus 7. Really, that cold, eh? It doesn't feel that cold. That's funny. Maybe I'm not as much of a wimp as I thought. I'm gonna cross as a pedestrian because this sucks. And let me check this camera. It's flopping around a lot actually. It might need to be tightened. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, might need to do something about that. We'll see. What do you think of the architecture of Toronto? Some of it's good. I actually really like this building. I was just saying, dude, I have to press a fucking button. Come on. Screw that. I actually like this building right here. Let me show you actually. So it's kind of got this like interesting older architecture, and then it goes up into massive condo building. I kind of like the way they've done it. If they're going to do such a thing, that's at least done pretty well. Let me know if the camera is bouncing around too much, and I'll tighten it a bit, but I think it's okay, but it is going to shake a little bit. Good. I love sharing the streets with giant SUVs. Also, there were no e-bikes available with bike share anywhere near downtown. I was thinking I would just go pick one up, you know, take the tram out or a subway and pick one up from somewhere, but nowhere even close to downtown. So I'm on an acoustic bicycle today instead of an electric. Which is probably just as well. It means I'm going to be going slower. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is slippery. They really don't like maintaining their bike infrastructure. But you can see the tire tracks from people who have come through here earlier. Okay, so Adelaide Street through downtown to Sherbourne Street. That's the plan. I mean, other than the bike lanes never being maintained properly, this is pretty nice weather for cycling because you don't get too hot. It's not insanely cold. Although my hands always get cold. Even when it's like 15 degrees, I wear gloves. I'm just one of those people that gets cold easily in the extremities. So we'll see how long my fingers last. Oh, actually, that reminds me, I'm going to put on my sunglasses, get rid of some of the glare, but also I just see better with them. Have you tried a recumbent trike? No, I'd like to someday. You know, actually, I had a guy that lived next to me in university in the dorm. He was a mechanical engineering student, and he used to buy old bicycles, cut them down in the mechanical engineering lab, weld them together into recumbent bicycles and sell them for like huge profit. That was what he did for spare money. I can't even remember the guy's name, But if anybody knows that guy, let me know. I would like to meet him again. That was probably like 1996 or something. Which I thought was pretty ahead of his time to making custom recumbent bicycles in the 90s. All right, so they plowed this. You can see the tracks of the treads, the little caterpillars they use. I mean, the lane is narrowed because they just push the snow off into the gutter. But they've been through. There was an attempt. So this, I mean, this is okay. I mean, there's still potholes. Are you going to visit Ottawa? No. No. We were thinking of going to Ottawa because my brother-in-law lives there, but I don't know, with COVID and everything, it just seemed like less travel is better. Oh, Jesus. Still have the potholes. Still have the cars parked in the bike lane. Wouldn't expect anything less. Awesome. Yeah, the potholes cannot be fun. The potholes in winter become a problem because they get filled, covered over, you can't see them. Sometimes they can even get filled with water and then they freeze into like blocks of ice. Do you think this guy in the Ford Expedition sees me? Yep, no chance in hell. Oh, Jesus. I didn't see that until it was almost too late. Glad I'm not going quickly. Actually, it's probably just as well I didn't get an e-bike, because I'd be riding too fast for these bullshit roads with potholes hidden by snow. I saw you visited Cornell near Markham. Yeah, I did. I went to Cornell. I filmed it, and I plan to make a video about it. Might be a Patreon video or a Nebula bonus video, though, I think. But, so Cornell is a new urbanist neighborhood in Markham, Ontario. You can look it up online. It's interesting. So they basically try to make a kind of mixed-use neighborhood with more traditional homes. It's an interesting place. The roads are still too wide, though. They still have to have Ontario design roads, so it's not perfect. Hey, somebody else out with me. Hello, friend. Apparently going out into traffic. Are the e-bikes front or rear wheel drive? They're all rear wheel drive. They're actually mid drives, so it just drives the pedals, which goes into the back wheel, like a regular bicycle. And of course, we're gonna hit the red light. Awesome. But I'll maybe use it as a chance to switch to my warmer gloves. What do you think is the biggest reason North American cities like Toronto don't build curb level bike paths? Well, there's a lot of reasons. They build all this temporary shit because they're not given any budget. All their money's spent on car infrastructure, so there's nothing left for bicycle infrastructure. So they need to do everything on the cheap. Paint and plastic sticks is the order of the day. And then they also have the problem of, like, the people who cycle here are the daredevils who want to cycle fast on the road, and they don't want to be up on the curb. So you also have, like, literally the people who cycle telling them don't put it up on the curb because they want to go fast, to the detriment of everyone else. But I think at the end of the day, it's mostly cost. Because look at, like, this is cheap shit. They built this back in, oh my God, this bike lane's probably 2011, 2012, built as a pilot project, and it's still shit like this, right? Now, they did recently, last year, put in these concrete curbs off to the left here. And this is nice and wide, at least, because the way they built this was to take a car lane, a full car lane, 3.2 meter, 3.3 meter car lane, and make it into a bike lane. Vehicular cycling advocates. Yeah, I actually want to make a video about vehicular cycling because I've had some more people on my channel coming in and saying, no, vehicular cycling is the way to go. Like, people are still talking about it after, what was that guy's name who started it? John Forrester. He died a few years ago. I hate vehicular cycling advocates. They drive me nuts. So I want to make like a full-on anti-vehicular cycling hate video. All right, here's Sherbourne. We're gonna turn right. Do it now. Oh my God, that pothole, holy shit. You couldn't see that on camera, but that was huge. And did he die in traffic? Yeah. Amazingly, no. So this is Sherbourne Street. We just turned right to go south on Sherbourne Street, coming up to King Street. This is a kind of curb protected bicycle lane. It's a sloped curb, which is stupid. It makes it easier for drivers to drive up on it, but it's been here for about 10 years. And it's actually okay. It's narrower than I'd like it to be, but it's pretty good for Toronto standards. And you can see it has not been cleared, so, oh, shit. Awesome. Oh well, okay. You know what, I'm gonna go back and film this. This is bullshit. Okay, let me get my camera out. Because I want to film the fact that it's just all snowy and then ends with a cyclist share the road sign. Can this bike sit here? Yeah, okay. Your camera might flop around as I'm doing this, but I'll try to prop it up as best I can. Or not. I really wish these bike share bikes had a kickstand. Like, would it be so much to ask to just put a kickstand? All right, got the camera out. Took a little longer than I wanted, but we're ready to go. Okay. Oh, hey, American Feedster. Yeah, I decided my blood pressure wasn't high enough either, so let's come out in Toronto, which I ended my last stream because it was too dangerous. So now I'm going to go out right after it snowed, and they do shit all maintenance of the bike lanes. I'm looking for a thrill. That's why I'm doing it. I actually want to film shit, bad shit like that. Okay, so this lane ends now, and we're just supposed to share the lane with buses and cars. You know, heaven forbid, while during construction, they should shut down part of one of the dozens of roads that car drivers use. So instead, we end up here. Ironically, I wanted to take this route because it would be safer because of the protected bike path, but, you know, screw you. I think that camera was a little crooked. Mrs. NJB wants to get rid of you. I'm just really glad that, oh my God, that guy's driving too fast. I'm just really glad that because it's Sunday after New Year's, there's hardly any traffic. Because if I was coming out here in normal traffic levels, this would be literally deadly. Like, no joke. Oh, I hate right turn on red, man. That's the other thing that gets me about coming back here. Are you gonna run the red light? Yeah, you run the red light. You do that. Good job. Scofflaw cyclist. I mean, driver. All right, so here we are back in the protected bike lane. And actually, this is where it's kind of half decent. You can see that it's properly curb separated. And if you look to the left, this is actually some of the best infrastructure that Toronto has to offer, because it has enough space that doors can open on the left there. And then there's a curb level bike lane, and then there's the sidewalk, but there's like pedestrians aren't going to be wandering in here because the sidewalk is big enough and it's separated by all of this street furniture. Yeah, this looks nearly Dutch. It is, and this is it. This is the good bike infrastructure. It lasts as far as that traffic light down there. Actually, I think the next block is, I think it's that highway overpass down there in the distance is how long it goes for. So yeah, this is it. That was the infrastructure. Enjoy. I would film it, but there's no bicyclists on it. It doesn't make for very good video when there's nobody out here. Now, bus stop here, and the bus stop's on the wrong side of the bike lane, but you know, baby steps. Oh, okay, so here's the new stuff that Dave was telling me about. Oh, there's a bicycle signal. And the bicycle signal goes at the same time cars. Of course it does. Way to go, guys. Okay, so this is what Dave was telling me about. There's this new bike lane starts here, and I have this Copenhagen left turn. And yeah, so there's a two-way cycle track here. Look at that. And a dedicated bus lane. So look at this. The pedestrians get a leading indicator, but then the cyclists go at the same time as the cars. Why would you do that? Why would you not have the cyclists go at the same time as the pedestrians? Jesus Christ, guys. Okay, this has not been maintained, so I'm going to ride a bit slowly. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to ride slowly here because I'm not sure. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do another brake check here to see how slippery this is. Fishtails, but it's all right. Okay. So this is okay. They got a dedicated bus lane and a two-way cycle track. I used to come down this, Matt Pinder, you're cycling on one of the projects I contributed to. Amazing. That's great, Matt. Oh yeah, that's a stop sign, not a stoplight. I used to come down here when we lived here. It was way out of my way, but I would come down here because this was a quieter street and it was safer. But now this is actually half decent. Nice work, Matt. Matt Pinder here in chat, who is a consultant in Ontario for active transportation infrastructure like this. And it just would be really nice if they would maintain it better. Because what good is this wonderful infrastructure if it's covered in ice? Can you hear that? Can you hear the ice cracking under my tires? Jesus. And there's the bike share bikes. Yeah, actually I want to try a trick here, because bike share charges me if I use the bike more than 45 minutes. I have nowhere close to that now. But it charges me if I use it more than 45 minutes. But I think I could just return the bike and then take it out again. And it resets that number. So let's give that a try. Or not. Okay, so the bike is returned. This is actually a nice little area of town. Oh, and actually, as I looked at my phone just now, I saw that it's Sunday, and Brandon reminded me that Bike Curious might be riding today, so I could send you Twitch users over to him. If you guys haven't subscribed already to Bike Curious, check him out. He's a bicycle live streamer from San Francisco who does it quite like every Sunday, quite regularly. He does a really great stream. Bike Curious on Twitch. Okay, question on Twitch here. Do you live in Canada or just visiting? I'm just visiting. Oh yeah, someone else already answered. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if that worked to reset my time with bike share. Because if that works, I'll do that over and over. Okay, back on the road again. I hope that trick works, because I don't want to have to switch bikes, because I've got a whole setup here, right? I've got the chat set up on a phone mount and the camera set up. Okay, so we have this two-way bike path covered in ice. And then this was the part I was curious about, because now you get here, and oh, you still do have to go through the park. It was shared with pedestrians. That's too bad. Well, at least they've paved it better. Cool. So now we're coming up to the Distillery District, which actually I wonder, can I like walk through and show you that or not? Oh, the two-way bike lane continues down here. Right. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, this is good to see. Really good to see. I used to come down this way, like I was saying. Pedestrian infrastructure in Toronto looks decent. It is down in this area of town, yeah. It certainly is not all over the place. But one thing that, oh, come on, really? He gets an advance before I get, Canada, one thing Canada does better than the US is they do tend to have proper pedestrian infrastructure. There's like, even in the crappiest suburbs, there's usually a sidewalk. I mean, there has been for like the last 30 years, so maybe there's stuff older than that doesn't have it, but there's usually a sidewalk. Now, doesn't mean it's going to be pleasant or safe to walk, but it's theoretically possible. So this here is the Distillery District. It's an old distillery that was converted into a pedestrianized area, which is actually super nice. Like really out of place for Toronto, but it shows like what a pedestrian area could be. It gets really popular during like the Christmas market and stuff. It's too bad that Toronto can't put two and two together and realize more pedestrian streets would be great instead of it being on a privatized bit of land. Did they have the Christmas tree up? I don't know. Let's go check. Am I supposed to wear a mask when I come in here? Because I think this is private property, right? Like it's fenced off and stuff. Oh yeah, they've got it fenced off. I'm gonna take a quick look, but Don't you just love the privatization of public spaces? Like, why can't they have this in other parts of Toronto? Why can't this be like half of downtown? Look at this. When are you going to do a cycling stream in Houston? I don't know, maybe if I'm feeling suicidal. It's fenced off with a liquor license. Oh, that makes sense. Ontario liquor laws. Oh, it's really bouncing around on the cobbles. Can I stabilize that a bit more? Probably not. This is nice, right? And they got the tree up still. The Christmas market is closed, but I don't know if it's still on now. It's a little after Christmas.
I don't think I went there.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I love this place. It just annoys me that they have this place and they don't realize that there's so many other places downtown that should be exactly like this. How much quieter it is here, yeah. This looks extremely pleasant. It is. This is honestly one of the best places in downtown Toronto. Why won't they build more places like this? This could be Queen West, King West, Yonge Street, all of those places could be just this pleasant. But they just can't give up their car infrastructure. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. Ultimately, that's what annoys me the most about Toronto is the potential. It has the potential to be such a good city, but they just can't seem to get off their car addiction. The idea that cars need to go down every single street. Like, someday maybe they'll wisen up, but that day is not today. At least there's a two-way cycle track here now, and it looks like it's been better maintained here. Yeah, look at this. This has been plowed and salted. What, right? That's a difference. What do you think about NYC? I like it, but there's too many goddamn cars. Manhattan is a place, wow, half of that place should be pedestrianized. Okay, so this is actually pretty pleasant now, and I can ride at a reasonable pace because it's been plowed and salted. Like, what a difference. This is actually really nice. So we're going ahead here into this area that's relatively new called the Canary District. I want to say these condos were built like 6-7 years ago. And you can still see other condos going up here on the right. This building up here on the right is new. And it's actually kind of nice down here. It's got like some cobblestone streets that you won't be able to see under the snow, I don't think, but it's kind of nice up here. And I think once I get through this intersection, I'm going to stop for a sip of tea and decide where we're going next. So, okay, so here actually is Cherry Street. This is where they've extended the streetcar line down here, and this is where it ends. So they've got a streetcar that comes along King Street, which is just up to our north, and then it comes down here. So this is one of these. Did that streetcar wait for the light, or was that a stop? It waited for the light, because speaking of Toronto's missed potential, the streetcars do not get transit priority signaling, which is literally the dumbest thing ever. Like, to build a streetcar line like this and not give it priority at signals. Like Spadina is the perfect example of that. Dedicated streetcar lane, stuck at red lights. Oh, there's actually people cycling, look at that. Have you tried Cherry Street Barbecue? No, I haven't. I should. What direction are you headed? I'm headed east. This is kind of the southeast part of downtown. Officially called the Canary District, I believe. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. And it's got a bunch of new mid-rise condos. It's actually a reasonably nice area for North America. Like it looks like the city planners were allowed to do what you're supposed to do for the most part. All right, tea break over. Let's get moving. I'm gonna take this up to along here, and then I'm going to go up River Street, and we're gonna go to and then we're gonna go to Shooter Street. If you want to go all the way to the Dawn, you'll be able to see the demolished Gardner. Yeah. No, that just makes me sad, because it makes me sad that the rest of the Gardner wasn't demolished. Only that one tiny bit. Okay, so it looks like the plow has been through here, because I can see the tracks, but I guess it snowed after that and they didn't salt it or plow it again. It does tend to be the way they treat the bike paths here. They'll plow them once and that'll be your plow. If it snows some more, well, we plowed it once. How cold is it in Toronto at the moment? I think people were saying it was -6 or -7. It actually feels pretty good out here, to be honest. It's actually really good weather for cycling. If the paths were flat better, it'd be perfect. So, wow, look at all these new condos going up around here. So, if you take a look at this street here, like these streets are okay by North American standards. Look, they got like bump outs for parking, and it's not too wide. From an urban planning perspective, this area is pretty well designed. Is that C or F? C, proper units. Yes, C. It's Celsius, -6 or 7 Celsius. -6 in Toronto, thanks, Emma. Okay. So yeah, this area, like I like this area. You know, if you're going to have an area with a bunch of mid-rise condos, this is not bad. It has the tram there at Cherry Street, and now it has these bike lanes. It used to just have sharrows down the street, but now it has these two-way bike lanes, which this is actually pretty respectable. This is what they should have built from the start. And this is okay. So yeah, look here to the right, you can see they've put in the two-way bike lanes, but this here obviously used to be a bump out for parking, but they just built the two-way bike lane over it, which is amazing that Toronto did that. And maybe they'll get rid of it once this condo to the right here is built, and maybe it'll just be garbage again, but you know, not bad. Still have too many stop signs. Look at this. Stop sign for what? Stop sign for a T-junction and cyclists are supposed to stop? Like who? Oh well, whatever. But this is good. 30 km/h seems reasonable for that street too. Yeah, and the street's more or less built to that speed too, especially now that they've narrowed it even more with the two-way bike path here. And look at all these bike share bikes. That's a huge bike share dock too. I've noticed the bike share docks have gotten a lot bigger in the past couple of years. It used to be they would just be like one dock size, which is to here. It would just be like this, whatever this number is, like 8 to 10. But now that's a lot of bike share bikes. So this is pretty good in terms of North American urbanism. About as good as it gets right now. And this here right up ahead is a playground, which is a really nice playground too. And you can see kids tobogganing down the hill. But in the summer, there's a slide that goes down that hill. There's a sandbox and playground and stuff. It's actually really nice down here. Are you planning a trip to Montreal? No, not anytime soon. Yeah, and I'm really impressed with this two-way bike lane. Really impressed. Because like I said, when they built this, I was so disappointed that it was just sharrows down the cobblestone streets. But now they've actually got two-way bike lane. Is this where I turn? No, I don't think so. Oh wow. And now there's cobblestones here underneath me. It's kind of nice. Take a look at this. They've got a huge sidewalk with some art. Oh, you can see the sharrows still there. If you look carefully there, straight ahead, that street has sharrows on it. And that's the way it was originally built throughout the whole place. Which is all right.
It's also, you know, mortgages.
What's a sharrow? Oh wow, lucky man. You don't know what a sharrow is. A sharrow is a picture of a bicycle with little arrows, chevrons, that's just put in the middle of the road, which is a suggestion where cyclists should ride. Yeah, I think this, like if I were buying a condo in Toronto, I would want to live down here, I think. I'm sure the condos are still horrendously expensive. Probably $1 million or 800,000 or something. Okay, so straight ahead, this actually goes into the Bayview Extension, it's called, which used to be like a full-on like highway. They put a bicycle path down the side of it, but that is not where we're going today. Today I'm turning left. Another bike share dock. There's so many bike share docks in this neighborhood. Crazy. And look at this. Like, this is all cyclists. This is actually pretty cool. Hey, is that the plow coming through? It is. It's a bicycle lane plow. Look at that.